Burbank, this special amateur feature is brought to you by CAMO, the California Amateur Mixed Martial Arts Organization. It is scheduled for 3 two-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. The man in charge of the action once the bell sounds, the jester, Ryan Spink. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my left. He's fighting out of 10th Planet Long Beach and the Black House MMA. He is currently ranked number 10 in the state in his 12th amateur fight. Please welcome Christopher Cruz. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner to my right. He has a 4-3 amateur record. He fights out of the 10th Planet Van Nuys and Team Jordan. Please welcome Jordan Mins.
Set for action in the amateur ranks. Jordan Mims in the pink and yellow, taking on Christopher Constrictor Cruz. Cruz trying to improve that record, getting closer and closer to a 500 record. And on the flip side, Jordan Mims trying to keep that winning record going as he ultimately moves towards eventually turning into a professional fighter. Both fighters touch gloves and we're off and running. Single leg attempt here by Cruz early, looking for the takedown.
Yeah, Cruz early on trying to bring this fight to the mat. Oh, beautiful slam by Christopher Cruz.
And that's step one. Get you on the mat. Step two is try and use that constrictor mentality and feverishly look for the submission, and that's what I expect Cruz to do.
Jordan Mins doing a good job of butt scooting his way back to the cage. He's going to try to use that cage to his advantage to get back to his feet here.
And Christopher Cruz coming in with that losing record, trying to improve things, aggressive early, getting that single leg, really pulled it in tight and got the big slam, takedown, trying to do something with it, but neutralized at the moment by Jordan Mims.
Jordan Mims holding on for dear life here, trying to work an arm angle here. Perhaps not for the submission, but the transition. But right now it's all Christopher Cruz. Heavy top pressure and some nice body shots on the inside.
You can see that Christopher Cruz, in essence, is in. He's got those legs laced tight. Was in essence in a full mount there. I'm fine. Trying to go to work here on Mims, a little ground and pound. Again, not a lot of time to work with Manute in these amateur fights. These 2-minute rounds, they fly by.
Absolutely. Here, Jordan Mims is on his back, facing a situation he probably wasn't expecting early on in the first minute and a half in, trying to fight his way out, but so far, Christopher Cruz is controlling around.
And certainly, Jonathan, the momentum fight-wise has really gone coming into this fight to Mims, who is riding a win streak, coming off of a victory. He's got a winning record. As you hear this first round already coming to a close, these amateur fights, fans, they are a sprint, not a marathon. Slam there by Cruz in the final seconds of the first round.
Yeah, Jordan Mims unable to get started in that fight. He's wobbling his knee there. He might have a little bit of an injury to his left leg. Christopher Cruz got a hold of that single leg early on, parlayed it into a beautiful takedown and maintained top position throughout. Excellent first round action for Christopher the Constrictor Cruz.
All right, Manute Hakopian, our unofficial scorecard keeper. Your thoughts after the first round of action?
Well, that was a round completely dominated by Cruz. Controlled the action on top. Got a lot of ribcage shots in there. Very easy round to score. I have a 10-9 in favor of Cruz.
Round 2 upcoming in this amateur fight, as Constrictor Christopher Cruz kept the pedal to the metal that entire first round, scored the early takedown and pressed the advantage. Again, a big part of scoring, Jonathan King, is cage control, and that was certainly exhibited by Constrictor.
Absolutely. You saw a new wrinkle to Christopher Cruz's game, his wrestling transitions, which were on point in that first round. The first single leg he got, was able to use it to get that takedown. A testament to his coach, Kenny Johnson, over at Bolt Wrestling and Black House MMA.
Looking for the takedown again. It certainly worked in the first round, trying to get Mims horizontal on the canvas again in the early going on round 2, and completes the takedown.
A different type of takedown there off the single leg. He laced his leg with, oh, beautiful reversal by Jordan Mims.
Cruz was in big trouble there momentarily, but not able to cinch in the choke and hold on to it was Jordan Mims.
Now Jordan Mims riding high on top, pressure, looking for the neck of Christopher Cruz.
Mims holding on to the neck there, maybe thinking guillotine if he can get himself into a guard, but Cruz out of there. But some great groundwork here in round 2. Where did this come from, gentlemen?
Yeah, beautiful sweep by Jordan Mims to get back to top control here. Christopher Cruz is tying up that leg, trying to look for another sweep of his own. Jordan Mims doing a good job of maintaining heavy pressure here. Just absolutely sponging up all the space that Christopher Cruz is trying to create.
Again, in the early stages of the careers here, Manuk, the camps, the gym's so important. Both guys coming in with good camps. Cruz out of Black House at 10th Planet. Mims out at 10th Planet, and that groundwork, that jiu-jitsu tutelage showing off here for Mims.
Yeah, absolutely. These two gentlemen are stablemates, but no friends here in the cage tonight. Here's Mims putting on a beautiful performance here in round 2. Definitely controlling the pace of the action.
Nice ground and pound there, Jonathan, and Cruz now looking for a takedown again. He's got that waist lock. Good back and forth action, seesaw action. Again, both these young fighters so badly want to win, and you see Cruz, I guess you could say he's pulling out all the stops.
It's not a surprise when you have amateurs that are this long in the tooth as far as experience-wise. Both of these guys have been in the cage quite a bit of time, so it's not a surprise that both of them are having their moments.
Round 2 comes to a close. The third and final round coming your way on Lights Out Extreme Fighting. Bell sounds, we're off and running. 2 minutes to work. You can see that sense of urgency right off of the bat.
I don't know if I agree. Cruz seemed to pull guard there. I don't know if I agree with giving Mims the top position, but now Cruz trying to lock up his rubber guard, perhaps going for an omoplata here.
Could be working his way up into mission control. Is a constrictor, living up to his name, showing his flexibility. See if he can work his way up into that omoplata shoulder lock, as you mentioned, maybe work towards a triangle as well. And now it's Mims working out of the half guard of Cruz.
Mims looks like he's trying to tie up another choke here. Cruz doing his best to fight it, but that might be pretty deep. Cruz seems safe for now.
Thing is, if you can't finish with it, precious time ticks away, but
not only that, but you burn your arms out looking for it. Wisely, Jordan Mims gives it up. Now tries to get back to the cage where he can walk back to his feet.
We'll see if the long and rangy Jordan Mims can do just that, get back to a vertical base, try and get something going offensively. Again, precious time to work with, taken away. To Manuk's point, he had it even coming in here, so this round could be the difference maker.
Both these guys had moments early on, but now Christopher Cruz just grinding on Jordan Mims, wearing him down with each tick of the clock.
Indeed, and cage control, very important, but you'd like to see him do a little bit more with it, wouldn't you, Jonathan?
He's doing just enough to keep referee Ryan Spink away from standing him back up. 10 seconds left in the round, it might be enough to win the fight.
Few shots for good measure there by Christopher Cruz in the final seconds. And that's gonna do it. This fight comes to a close. It goes the distance, and we will find out who will take home a victory coming up with the official decision. All right, Manuk, another interesting round of action there between Cruz and Mims as we go back to some of the action.
Yeah, absolutely. Cruz had a late surge in the third round, delivered some really last-second strikes there in the third. Mims had a nice moment with a choke, but it wasn't enough to take the round. I have Cruz winning this fight 29-28. Nothing these amateurs shouldn't be short of being proud of.
All right, looks like we're getting ready to head back into the LXF cage, and ring announcer Barry Egan to make it all official.
Burbank, how about a big round of applause for these two rising stars? To the scorecards we go. Judge Crail scores the bout 29-27. Judge Denkin and Judge Davidson scored about 29-28 for the winner by way of unanimous decision. Fighting out of the red corner, Christopher Cruz.
Christopher Cruz gets the victory. And getting closer to that 500 record, as we mentioned. A little confusion there in the raising to the arm, Jonathan.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, they both can't be winners tonight.
Who's the referee, Steve Harvey?